The Minecraft Marketplace is proof that Microsoft sees the Bedrock Edition as more milkable than Java, with texture packs, worlds, and add-ons for sales, and to be fair, it does provide an easier experience than downloading from the internet, but that comes at a price. But what if you could enjoy this convenience without that price? Well, simply sort low to high, by price, not quality, oops, and you'll find dozens of maps available, and in this video, I'll be showing you the 5 best from my personal experience, because hello, I'm Toycat, I play a lot of Bedrock Minecraft, and I've downloaded many Minecraft Marketplace maps, many of which aren't necessarily up to scratch, but today I want to show you the 5th best of the free ones, which has to be this Planet Earth experience, which intriguingly enough has David Attenborough.
Every continent on Earth has such high snowfields. And each has its own community of animals that have adapted in their own way to the crushing conditions that come with the cold. It's hardly the place where you would expect to find a cold-blooded reptile. The high-casked chameleon. This female has survived the night's freezing temperatures by allowing both her metabolism and her heart rate to drop significantly. Now, in the morning, she needs to eat, but it's so cold she can't move her legs.
This is Frozen Peaks, a part of a series of maps. Oh god, there's a bird looking for me. Oh, I'm dead. This is Frozen Peaks, a part of a series produced by BBC Earth. Weirdly enough, that is an offshoot of the group that are funded by the TV license in the UK. Yeah, we really do have one of those. But yeah, they made this series of maps to promote Frozen Planet 2, which is a broadly educational but beautiful show. And it's very, very fun that they did this because they're actually pretty decent maps that do a good job of educating you about the struggle of being a chameleon as, say, eagles try to attack you, or being a penguin, or any of the other things the series goes into. Oh, there's a camouflage option. I've got to change color to actually fit the color of the brush around me. I get it. So I'll stay green here, then I'll go white here. Yeah, look at that. And then if I'm going to go across the snow, I'll go extra white. And then I'll go brown for this. And then I'll go green for... There we go. I've got it now. Yeah, you can't find me. I'm a green chameleon on a green background. Oh. The bird did not see me, but I've got to warm myself up. How do I stay warm? Oh, black warms you up but isn't camouflaged. But the other colors are camouflaged but don't warm you up. Like, this is the most basic point of nature to teach you. But it is a really clever one. That, yeah, chameleons have to balance not just changing color to meet their background, but also apparently they must photosynthesize. So let's go black real quick as we walk through this. Stand still. Get that full energy back and then switch over. And now we can wait more or less indefinitely. Oh, no, don't get me. I'm fine. Yeah. Switch over to gray. Try and get over to that brown in time. Okay. Yeah, I've just got to make it to the beacon. I can honestly say I would find it very hard to be a chameleon. Something you just don't get by watching the documentaries while slightly asleep on your sofa. But yeah, I successfully did it, at least today. I got me some bugs too. And now I'm an eagle. Isn't this incredible? I think that the great thing about this game is it teaches you by doing. And so I feel like if I was a parent, it's the sort of thing I would give to my kid. I would say though, you know, if you're looking for just pure free experiences, it's good, but it's not the 10 out of 10 amazing gameplay extravaganza. It's more a fun experience and a way to blend that kind of documentary style learning with a game. Again, a great game to give to your kids and a great game to play for a little bit, but it's not the best overall maps on the marketplace, and so it's only 5 on my list. It is worth mentioning though, if you are specifically looking for educational content, of the over 150 free maps, the vast majority of these seem to be aimed at education in some form or another, so make sure you check those out in the education edition if you have someone you'd like to educate. But if you're just looking to have fun, maybe instead you prefer to play this one. It's the 4th on my list, Hermitcraft. So when you open up the world, it plays a little bit out like a realm review. They've given you a shulker box filled with some goodies that you can take advantage of, including an elytra and some fireworks. They give you a guide to things and coordinate books, etc. And then there's some important info about how it all came together, which is really wonderful. But yeah, it means you can look around and you can see what people did in what I understand is actual survival. And, you know, even though I feel like we're talking about people who play the game a lot of hours and use certain Java tools, it still shows what can be done in a block-by-block fashion, and that is a really, really cool thing, in my opinion. To look around and see certain houses that look like this, I like this a lot, by the way. The random andesite actually does seem to work here. You know, random houses that look like this to big archery statues or clock towers. I think you could spend forever looking around this and getting vague ideas of inspiration, like, oh yeah, this is fun, but maybe it's not for you. Maybe instead you prefer the castle that looks like this on the hill over there, or maybe you like the way that it all connects together. So many Minecraft worlds have this problem of like, you know, great builds, but they're all just kind of cramped together. Having a decent set of paths between them and reasons to go between things is a cool part of what makes a server good, and being able to look around and see all of that is actually very, very fun. But yeah, looking around the world will show you a bunch of interesting builds, including what I believe is meant to be a functioning pinball machine, of all things. But yeah, this is all stuff that you can come and look at, and you can see how it works and physically disassemble it or see what's on the inside, and that is a great way to learn how to build, in my opinion. Looking at other builds and seeing how some of the techniques are done is one of the best ways to learn about improving, and worst case, you get some inspiration about, oh, it'd be cool if I had a floating ocean around my floating base. And if you think that's true, why not make it that way? But yeah, very delightful world. If you feel like checking it out, it is still free on the marketplace if you want it. It's one of the very few, and it just crashed. So try not to have that happen, I guess. The third map that I wanted to show you was going to be snowboarding based. It looked so incredible from the images, and it was well rated, and the idea of racing a snowboard down a cliff looked incredible. However, this has sadly fallen to marketplace rot, even though the marketplace specifically emulates older versions to avoid content breaking over time. Sadly, this one broke in a very, very, very incredible way, and so it was still just about playable, but you have the missing texture, the old missing texture, just to prove that it is emulated, and then also you can't actually complete the level. It's a fun looking map, but sadly it's not a functioning one, so instead my third pick is going to be Grave Danger. I had a lot of fun playing through this one this morning. It was one of the last additions to the video. It was a map I'd always heard of and had heard good things about, but decided to actually give a try, and it's a tower defense more or less that you play from first person. It's scripted in so that you have this magic wand. It has all of these traps for you to place, and it has a surprisingly deep story and cutscenes and dialogue, and if you want to play a game that is entirely unlike Minecraft, I feel like Grave Danger is a great example of that. It is solely focused around fun, and the only downside I would say is it feels a bit like a Flash game from 2012, just from a Minecraft perspective, which might be exactly what you're looking for, to be fair, and if that is true, then I would have to recommend above anything else, Terra Swoop Force. I have a confession to make. I entirely forgot about this map by Noxcrew until I saw it, and I immediately knew I'd have to show it off because this was one of the greatest maps. So Noxcrew are the people who are currently most famous perhaps for making the MCC stuff, but this is one of the earliest maps they made long before the marketplace, and so they ported it to said marketplace, but for free, which I thought was very cool. So this is an extended version of a map that would have been available for Java way back in the day. And the idea is fairly simple. You're in a lovely little lab and you need to explore to the center of the earth, and it's Glide but as a story-based map rather than a mini game. Let's deal with the interesting voiceover dialogue. You know, they put effort into it. I can't criticize it too much. But what I can say is that upstairs I'm about to have a meeting with... Oh, this is weird, huh? Oh, I get to pick which armor I'm going to be wearing. I think we all know. I should start with the closest thing to yellow, which is blue. That's just matched in colors. And now I'm wearing a wingsuit. So it's just an elytra. Yeah, there we go. It's an elytra and a Power Ranger suit. But that's good enough for me to dive into the earth with, apparently. Look at this, wait. I'm standing clear. I'm ready. Is the game ready? Just let me fly in. The door's open enough for me. There's this very fun joke about the terms of service there, but more importantly, let's glide. So yeah, I feel like this map was a very big deal on the Java edition when it came out, but it was extra fun to see it finally ported over to Bedrock, and done so in a fun and free way. Getting permission might have been hard, I'm sure, but it... Oh, and I hit water and so I died. Right, it's not like Glide in that way. You have to make sure you avoid all liquids. It makes for a very, very fun experience that tests how well you know the Elytra. The Elytra picks up a lot of speed, which means if you want to, you can kind of treat this as like a... If you want to just guarantee you survive, it's worth slowing down deliberately, but also you can treat this as a game of how fast can I get through the tunnel. You can make it like a little speed run for yourself if you wanted to, and I've always thought that is delightful. Like, deciding how you go through this is very, very, very cool. There's a lot of construction equipment deliberately here to trip you up. But yeah, the tunnels themselves are very delightfully built. Obviously, it takes a huge amount of time to build these. And if anyone's tried building an Elytra tunnel in their survival world, you know exactly what this is actually like. Like, carving out this much terrain, even if you had access to creative mode and therefore instant mining, it's just never going to be as fast as you actually want. Especially if you need to do it in a circle. And oh no, I'm not going to make it to the finish, chat. Okay, ooh, yes! I did make it to the finish, and, you know, I appreciate your faith in me. Now we're at Base Camp Alpha, and if that diagram is correct, there's one more safe base camp before I make it to the end. Wave 2, let's go. Base Camp Beta, I'm on my way. Oh, no, I'm not, I'm dead. You know, I can understand the idea that you can't hit the water. I can understand the idea you can't hit lava, even though this is a fire-resistant suit. What is the logic behind not being able to hit the ground? So yeah, you really don't want to slow down too much, even though I kind of referenced that you could. There is a downside to doing so, and it is, like we almost saw last time, that you might not quite finish the level. In some parts, it might make sense to deliberately descend at a certain speed. Wait, there's something down there. Why don't I go down that direction? I'm guessing it's going to loop me around, but I have no real idea. This is a really, really, really beautiful example of what you can do with some environments. You know, this is fundamentally just a tunnel, but the way the tunnel turns into so many different things, like ice, I don't think that makes any geological sense. I don't think as you get closer to the center of the Earth, you find more ice. But I like the idea regardless. Again, I just really like the idea that there is a reason to play this for more than 15 minutes in a row. It is a great time, and it is genuinely hard trying to keep up with the level, and the fact that you go through the Nether, it's really silly, it's really goofy, it's very fun. But I would also you know, have to say at some point that this is a fun map, but a short map. If you're looking for brief, this is great. If you're looking for something you can play for hours with friends, this is more like a goofy thing to jump aboard and have a fun, you know, 20, 30, 40 minutes with. You might need a bit more content, which is why, even though it's one of my favorite free maps, it's not the best free map. As far as the actual best map that exists for free on the marketplace, I looked through every single one of them to make sure that I wasn't missing some obvious example, and then I was reminded of one of the great maps by Jigabob. So Jigabob is one of my favorite creators on the marketplace. He does lots of great stuff that is actually based around pure survival, but also he has gotten pretty good at scripting, as it turns out, and so for a promotion many years ago, he released a Bedrock version of a Java map that was made many, over a decade ago at this point, and that was called Simburbia. This is more or less the Minecraft version of SimCity, and it is incredibly fun to play. You can see the city actually building itself around you, which is nice. You can also see all sorts of Easter eggs as a result of the city being life scale, such as this door with a person who won't like that you're not leaving him alone to a very serious extent.
My door, and then this is go away. Oh man, this is a fun little... Okay, do it one more time. Oh my god.
But it's just really fun to explore the city as you're building it, and honestly, this is the one thing that every SimCity style game is missing, from my opinion. This is a great game, I would say, in its whole own right. It is a wonderful example of its genre, and if you spent $10 on this map, I'm not sure that you'd come away from that feeling awful. I think what's incredible about this is it doesn't just have a fun gameplay design and a decent game length, it's about 5 to 7 hours, it has this beautiful music that comes up with it, and all of these animations details and small touches show that this was a labor of love and a labor of passion, and the fact that you can get away with paying nothing for it is one of the great all-time deals of the marketplace. There are a substantial number, maybe 70, 80, 90% of paid maps that come nowhere close to this, so make sure you take advantage while you can. Indeed, not just of this, but of any of the maps if you enjoyed how they look today. Otherwise, if you enjoyed this video and you like going through the marketplace, that's something we do here on this channel, sharing some of the best free things that are out there, like add-ons, etc., as well as all of the other things, and indeed the latest Minecraft updates. Subscribing is the best way to stay up to date with that, and otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this, because I'll see you next time. Goodbye.